A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to this Sunday's edition of Prime News coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Arundhati Mudarnayaka. Let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
Man suspected of shooting dead the Valigama Pradeshya Sabha chairman arrested in Maharagama. Final rites of Lasantha Vikramasekara held in Midigama. Public Security Minister directs Police Chief to ensure MP Jagat Vithana's protection. MP confirms security now in place. Narmal states securing public representatives' safety is a government responsibility. Shots fired at a speeding van in Ratmalana. Police say the driver is a suspect involved in multiple offences. Opposition ready for public rally against government.
සමගජල බලවේගයේ සහභාගී වෙන්නේ නැහැ ඒකට.
ඒකාබද්ධ මොකද්ද කියලා එකක් හදන්න හදනවා. හැබැයි නවතින්න වෙන්නේ අන්තිමට මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ චින්තනය යට.
පාරට බහැලා මේ පාගම යන්න සිදුවීම කියන්නේම ඒගොල්ලන්ට අත්දලා තියෙන ඉරණමේ ප්‍රමාණය.
Media leaders from 16 countries joined Capital Maharaja Group as ABU Media and Culture Days Summit kicks off in Sri Lanka.
Now the stories in detail. The man suspected of carrying out the shooting of Valigama Pradeshya Sabha chairman was arrested in Maharagama this evening. The arrest was made following a special operation conducted by the officers of the Criminal Investigation Department. The total number of suspects arrested in connection with the murder of the chairman of the Valigama Pradeshya Sabha now concludes at 7.
The chairman of the Valigama Pradeshya Sabha, Lasantha Vikramasekara, was shot dead by two gunmen who arrived on a motorcycle at his office on the 22nd of October. The CCTV footage showed the suspects fleeing the scene after carrying out the shooting, and on the instructions of the Minister of Public Security, 4 investigation teams immediately began their inquiries to locate the relevant suspects. The Criminal Investigation Department, the Financial Crimes Investigation Division, the Police Special Task Force and the Sri Lanka Army partnered in this joint operation under the direct supervision of the senior DIG in charge of the southern province. Accordingly, information was revealed that the suspects involved in this shooting were hiding in the Nivasapanaha area under the Kakirava Police Division in the Anuradhapura district as a result of the joint investigation. Thereafter, based on an intelligence information received by the authorities, a group of officers from the Criminal Investigation Department were sent to Kakirava this morning. There, the investigation team surrounded an abandoned house used as a threshing floor in the Nivasapanaha area of the Kakirava Police Division. A woman and a man who were residing in the abandoned house were arrested by the police, while another suspect fought with officers and fled the scene. According to police, an officer who sustained injuries from the fight was admitted to the hospital for treatments. The police suspect that the individual who fled is the gunman responsible for the shooting of Valigama Pradeshya Sabha chairman Lasantha Vikramasekara. The suspect was later identified by the police as Hakmana Paranliyanage Nuantharaka, a resident of the Aglugama area in Bandipita, Kontapena. He is described by the police as approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall with tattoos on both his arms. The woman arrested in this raid is reported to be the wife of the main shooter who fled during the raid. Also among the arrested is the motorcyclist who assisted the main shooter to carry out the shooting and another individual who provided accommodation to the suspects. The police have seized one of the motorcycles used by the suspects in the crime along with over 1.2 million rupees in cash. Additionally, equipment used for consuming drugs such as heroin and ice were found in the possession of the suspects at the time of the raid. The individual who escaped is suspected to be the main shooter who shot Valigama Pradeshya Sabha chairman Lasantha Vikramasekara. He was apprehended this evening in Maharagama by the Criminal Investigation Department. Meanwhile, another suspect connected to the shooting was arrested this afternoon in Gaul. Police said the arrest was made on suspicion of aiding and abetting the murder. The suspect, a 56-year-old resident of Hiare area, is a three-wheeler driver by profession. Investigations have revealed that he had allegedly assisted the gunmen by helping them purchase equipment used in carrying out the crime. Meanwhile, the last rites of the chairman of Valigama Pradeshiya Sabha, Lasantha Vikramasekara, were performed this evening at his family burial grounds in Midigama. Earlier today, the remains of Lasantha Vikramasekara was taken to the Valigama Pradeshiya Sabha for public respect. Many politicians paid their last respects to Valigama Pradeshiya Sabha chairman Lasantha Vikramasekara during the past few days. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa paid his last respects to the remains of Lasantha Vikramasekara today.
Lasantha Vikramasekara Sabhapathithumage.
We strongly condemn the assassination of Chairman Lasantha Vikramasekara. Especially the lives of civil citizens in this country are not safe. It is a death blow to the democracy of our democratic society. We need to ensure the right to live for everyone. 3 children lost their father. A dear wife lost her husband. We are all making a sacrifice to seek justice and fairness for them and their family members.
National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, MP Namal Rajapaksa, also arrived this evening to pay his last respects to the remains of Lasantha Vikramasekara. Lasantha Vikramasekara, 38 years old, was a father of 3 when he was assassinated. Amid the grief and tears of family members and close relatives, the last rites of Lasantha Vikramasekara were performed at his family burial grounds.
The Minister of Public Security, Ananda Vijaypala, says that he has instructed the Inspector General of Police to take necessary action to investigate the security concern raised by Member of Parliament Jagat Vithana.
MP Jagat Vithana raised concerns in Parliament that he had received death threats while speaking at the Parliament last Friday. Member of Parliament requested that immediate action be taken in this regard.
The IGP has sent a notice to the Kaluthura DIG saying that someone is trying to kill me when I step outside my house. The notice includes the person's name and asks for an investigation to be carried out. A copy of the report has also been sent to the Senior Superintendent of Police and the Assistant Superintendent of Police of the Kaluthura district.
The day after the relevant revelation, Member of Parliament Jagat Vithana released several CCTV clips to the media, revealing that a group of unidentified individuals had intruded into his house and inquired about his personal information while he was not at home. However, Minister of Public Security Ananda Vijaypala said that instructions have been given to the Inspector General of Police to look into the security concerns raised by Member of Parliament Jagat Vithana and to take necessary action in this regard.
We remain fully committed to ensuring the safety of all public representatives. Based on current information, there is no immediate threat to any lawfully elected official. MP Jagat Vithana raised a concern regarding his security, and following a preliminary assessment, appropriate protection has been provided. Regardless of whether an official belongs to the government or the opposition, we are prepared to extend full protection to anyone facing a threat.
Meanwhile, MP Jagat Vithana shared his thoughts regarding his security at an event held in Beruwala today. Meanwhile, national organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, MP Namal Rajapaksa, says that it is the government's responsibility to ensure the safety of public representatives.
We would like to remind the government that if it attempts to protect pro-government organized crime groups and use them to suppress the opposition, we will not allow it. The government must take full responsibility for ensuring the safety of public representatives. We urge the government to remember that members and the chairman of the Pradesh Sabhas are part of public service. It is the responsibility of the government and the IGP to guarantee the safety and security among the public.
Deputy Chairman of the Badegama Pradesh Sabha, Saman Lenige, has sustained injuries in an attack that was admitted to the National Hospital of Gaul. According to police, investigations have revealed that the attack was carried out by a candidate who contested and lost the Badegama Pradesh Sabha election representing the Samaki Jana Baravege.
Samansi Lianage, the deputy chairman of the Badegama Pradesh Sabha, was attacked while he was attending a funeral in Karapitia. The attacker has been identified as Vijay Kumara of the Samagi Janabalavege, who contested the Badegama Pradesh Sabha election from the Palakimbia division and was defeated. After sustaining injuries from the attack, the deputy chairman of the Badegama Pradesh Sabha had reportedly left the scene with his wife on a motorcycle. However, the SJB candidate who had followed the deputy chairman caught up with him in Godakanda area and attacked him once again. The incident was captured on CCTV. The deputy chairman, Samansi Lianage, who sustained injuries from the attack, is currently receiving treatment at the National Hospital of Gaul. He has filed a complaint with the Poddala police regarding the attack and stated that the attacker had also threatened to kill him.
සමගි ජන බලවේගයේ තරඟවැදිකු විජේ කුමාර කියන පුද්ගලයා මට පහර දුන්නා කිසිම කතාවක් නැතුව ඒකට මට පහර දුන්නා මගේ මොනකට හිසට පහර දුන්නා ඊට පස්සේ යා ඒකම මට තර්ජනය කළා මම මේ පැය 24ක් ඇතුළත ඝාතනය කරනවා.
Samansi Lianage contested the last local government election for the Badegama Pradesh Sabha, representing the party alliance between Lanka Samsamaj Party and the Communist Party. However, during the formation of the Pradesh Sabha, he extended his support for the National People's Power and thereafter was appointed as the deputy chairman of the Badegama Pradesh Sabha.
Newsfirst with the people.
The 2025 ABU Media and Culture Summit commenced in Colombo today, marking a major convergence of global media leaders as representatives from 16 nations gathered at Stein Studios in Ratmarana. This landmark event, jointly organized by the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Unit or ABU, Radio Romania, Maharaja Media Networks and the Capital Maharaja Group, underscores Sri Lanka's growing prominence as a hub for international media collaboration. Delegates explored transformative trends, shared best practices and deliberated on the future of media in an era defined by rapid technological change, particularly the rise of artificial intelligence.
The 2025 ABU Media and Culture Days Summit convened a distinguished gathering of industry trailblazers from Europe and the Asia Pacific, uniting visionaries, decision makers and creative minds to explore transformative trends in media. Central to this year's discussions is the theme, Risks, Challenges and Opportunities of AI for Media, reflecting the rapidly evolving landscape of broadcasting technology and storytelling in the 21st century. The summit brought together an esteemed gathering of influential leaders from the media industry, including Chairman of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sashi Rajamahendran, Acting Director General of National Intellectual Property Office of Sri Lanka, Himali Hettihelage, Secretary General of ABU, Ahmed Nadeem, Group Director of Capital Maharaja Group, Shavan Daniel, Group Director Legal of Capital Maharaja Group, Suranga Jala, and Director International Relations, Radio Romania, Dan Santa, among other representatives and dignitaries. Addressing the summit, Chairman of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sashi Rajamahendran, highlighted the risks, challenges and transformative opportunities posed by artificial intelligence in the media industry.
The ABU Media and Culture Days brings together legal and regulatory experts, media leaders, and creative professionals from Europe and the Asia-Pacific region, strengthening dialogue and collaboration between continents. This event continues the spirit of international cooperation first initiated a decade ago by Radio Romania and the ABU. The theme for this year, Risks, Challenges, and Opportunities of AI for Media, is both timely and vital. Artificial intelligence is reshaping how we create, distribute, and protect, and even exploit media. At the same time, the spread of misinformation, now amplified by AI, has become one of the most pressing challenges facing global media today. It raises profound questions about ethics, creativity, and legal frameworks. As innovation accelerates, legislation often struggles to keep pace with the scale and speed of AI's evolution, a challenge that makes discussions like these all the more crucial. I wish to express our gratitude to Radio Romania and the ABU for conceiving this important theme.
Chairman Raja Mahendran also emphasized how the evolving media landscape presents both new responsibilities and opportunities for the industry.
Over the past 2 decades, our industry has transformed dramatically, driven by globalization, media accessibility, and technological innovation. With these rapid shifts come new responsibilities and opportunities. It is up to us, as media professionals, to adapt, lead, and uphold the standards that define our craft.
During the summit, Acting Director General of the National Intellectual Property Office of Sri Lanka, Himali Hettihalage, highlighted the urgent need of ensuring necessary copyright laws to address AI-generated content.
Who owns AI-generated content, and how can creators and broadcasters protect their rights when algorithms contribute to creation? Traditionally, authorization and licensing were based on the type of service, voice, data, or video, and on defined platforms such as broadcasting or telephony. But in a converged AI-driven environment, these boundaries overlap. The same content may appear on television, radio, and social media all at once. This makes it harder to apply existing copyright laws consistently. That is why copyright regimes must evolve to support innovation while ensuring that right holders remain protected. Governments and regulators must rethink existing standards and policies to keep pace with these rapid changes. Of course, when AI offers efficiency and creativity, it also brings serious risks, especially in journalism and content authenticity. 3 areas stand out: public trust, deepfakes, and accountability. Without clear oversight, AI can undermine the credibility that journalism depends on. They threaten not only individuals' reputation, but also the integrity of public information, a cornerstone of democracy and social stability. In closing, convergence is not a challenge to be feared, it is an evolution to be guided. Our task is to ensure that technology serves creativity, not replaces it, that innovation empowers right holders, not undermines them, and that law remains a bridge between progress and protection.
Secretary General of ABU, Ahmed Nadeem, emphasized the need for responsible and ethical adoption of AI in broadcasting, announcing the launch of the ABU AI Hub and ABU AI Principles.
This year's theme, Risks, Challenges, Opportunities of AI for Media, is a huge topic of discussion across the industries, and broadcasting is not outside of this. We have seen a lot of our members employing these technologies and working with these technologies to improve AI-driven workflows and innovative storytelling across the broadcasting chain. Yet, as we embrace this promise of AI, we must also navigate its complexities, ensuring it enhances rather than replaces human creativity. These are not only technical issues, but ethical, legal, and human questions that require shared responsibility and open dialogue to navigate. In this regard, it gives me great pleasure to announce the launch of ABU AI Hub and the ABU AI Principles, a set of practical suggestions and a guide to help our members in adopting these technologies responsibly, promoting innovation that is ethical, inclusive, and aligned with the values of public service. The set of principles adhere to two core fundamental areas. Firstly, and the most crucial, is the importance of safeguarding the trust that we have with our audience. And secondly, the need for governance, developing required checks and balances to make sure we address the first and also adhere to the core values, making sure our operations are secure and shielded from any harmful effects. The ABU AI Hub will be a collective resource, not only sharing these suggestions or guidelines, but also sharing the best practices and showcase case studies and tools used by our members so that we can learn from the experiences of others.
Group Director of the Capital Maharaji Group, Siobhan Daniels, speaking at the summit, highlighted on the political, social and geopolitical implications of AI.
What is AI? In a sense, artificial intelligence is neither artificial nor is it intelligent. It is embodied and it is material. AI is the result of very real physical processes. It's a result of fuel consumption, infrastructure, logistics, histories, all of that combined in a massive engineering process that throws up the magic that we all have access to on our phones today. This brings up a really important question. If AI is consuming minerals, labor, the earth, then there is also a price to be paid for that. And who pays that price? AI doesn't happen somewhere up in a cloud. It happens in the mines of Mongolia, in the mines of Western Australia, and around the world. And this results in brutal geopolitics. We must understand that. If AI ultimately widens inequality, if it further increases a unipolar world and polarizes extremism, then somebody has to hold AI responsible. And I think this is why the discussions we have today are so crucially important. Ultimately, AI is massively dependent on political and social structures. And as it stands today, AI is a registry of power. And so the conversations we have today will reverberate for months and years to come and create that imagined future because of the responsibility that all of us representing our broadcasting institutions have.
Director International Relations of Radio Romania, Dr. Dan Santa, attending this summit, delivered a message on behalf of the President Director General of Radio Romania. ABU also presented a commemorative plaque to the chairman of the Capital Maharaji Group, Sashi Rajamahendran. The attendees thereafter posed for a group photograph to mark the occasion. On the first day of the summit, a series of engaging panel discussions took center stage, exploring the multifaceted impact of artificial intelligence on the media landscape. One notable session, moderated by President's Counsel Udita Igalaheva, focused on guidelines and probable strategies for AI adoption by public service broadcasters, offering valuable insights into how broadcasters can responsibly integrate AI while maintaining editorial integrity and audience trust.
About news integrity, the responsibility of a public service media institutions and human oversight. Now, my question is, well,
In addition to this, the day featured presentations on critical topics such as AI regulations, ethical consideration, and the practical use of AI on air, providing participants with a comprehensive understanding of the opportunities and challenges presented by AI-driven innovation. The 2025 ABU Media and Culture Days Summit underscores its international significance, bringing together representatives from 16 nations, primarily from Europe, marking the first time this prestigious event is being hosted in Sri Lanka, with the Maharaja Media Network and the Capital Maharaja Group serving as hosts. These discussions set the tone for a forward-looking dialogue on the future of broadcasting, emphasizing collaboration, responsible innovation, and the need for adaptable frameworks in an era of rapid technological change.
Also in local news, it has been revealed that the driver of the van apprehended in Ratmalana for disregarding police instructions was under the influence of alcohol. Meanwhile, last evening police opened fire on another van along Gaul Road after it ignored their orders and caused multiple accidents while being driven recklessly.
In the Piliyandala Suarapola area, the Western Province South Division traffic officers have signalled a van to stop moving suspiciously. However, despite police orders, the van drove recklessly towards Moratua from the Piliyandala junction. At that time, two officers from the Police Traffic Division pursued the van on a motorcycle. The van, ignoring police orders, entered the opposite lane of the Gaul Road from a by road, driving dangerously and endangering several vehicles on the road. Later, the van entered the correct lane in the Gaul Road again and drove towards Ratmalana, passing Moratua Katubadda. At the Ratmalana Golimadama junction, the police fired at the wheels of the van which drove without following police orders. Later, the van turned from the Belikade junction and travelled dangerously towards the Ratmalana railway station, endangering other vehicles. Then, the van stopped near the Ratmalana railway station and the driver of the van attempted to escape. However, while trying to escape, the suspect fell to the ground and was injured as a result. Later, the police officers who followed him arrested and hospitalized him.
The suspect has been brought to the Madaragiri police station by now and has been found to be the one accountable for multiple crimes. In addition, the Mount Lavinia police station is currently investigating into him on drug trafficking and the use of drugs.
Preparations are reportedly underway for a joint public rally against the government titled Mahajana Handa, scheduled for November. A media briefing with opposition party leaders is set to be held tomorrow morning to provide details about the event. However, the deputy chief organizer of the Samaki Janabalavegya, SM Marika, said that the SAB will not participate in the joint opposition rally.
Will the Samaki Janabalavegya participate in the joint opposition rally? This was addressed by Deputy Chief Organizer of the Samaki Janabalavegya, SM Marikar.
ලබන මාසේ 21 වෙනිදා විපක්ෂයේ රැලියක් පවත්වන්න සූදානම් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට ඔබතුමාලා සහභාගී වෙනවා.
සමග ජන බලවේගයේ සහභාගී වෙන්නේ නැහැ ඒකට. අපි අපේ දේශපාලනේ අපේ ප්‍රතිපත්තියක අපි යන්නේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ
ඔක්කොම මාධ්‍ය දෙකේ කරන්නේ නැහනේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ විපක්ෂයේ කොහොමද? දාන විපක්ෂයේ සමග ජන බලවේගයේ විපක්ෂයේ
නෑ දැන් අපි ඒකට යන්නේ නැහැ. මම එතනින් එහාට ඒකට උත්තර දෙන්නත් කැමති නැහැ.
Will the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna join this joint opposition rally? SLPP Gampaha district leader Impika Anuruddha shared his views on the alliance of these opposition parties.
Nothing.
This government is nothing to us. We have a group of SLPP supporters who can be mobilized with a single whistle. They are trying to build things in different places, attempting to come together in various ways. But in the end, they will remain under the big tree of Mahinda Rajapaksa's ideology. The only leader who can guide them is Nama Rajapaksa.
එකම නායකයා නාමල් රාජපක්ෂ විතරයි.
What are the opposition parties preparing for? Minister Professor Chandana Beratna expressed his views on this.
This means they've now fallen to the streets. People of this country dragged them to the streets during the last presidential election and in the parliamentary election. They are the group that previously held power in this country. But now they have been brought to the streets through people's votes. Despite their failure, they still remained with the same old mentality without accepting the truth. The act of taking to the streets like this and this rally depicts the nature of the crisis they are facing and the extent of the fate they have suffered. What is important here is that they will get to see to what extent the people are ready to take to the streets with them.
Biz Fast.
Sri Lanka has welcomed 119,670 tourists just within the first 23 days of October. According to the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, the highest number of tourists were from India, totaling 35,090. So far this year, a total of 1,845,164 tourists have arrived in the country.
Moving on to news overseas, Thailand and Cambodia have signed an expanded ceasefire deal witnessed by US President Donald Trump during the ASEAN summit in Malaysia. The agreement signed by Thai Prime Minister and the Cambodian Prime Minister builds on a truce brokered 3 months ago after border clashes that killed dozens and displaced thousands.
Nearly 24 world leaders are dissenting in the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur for a 3-day summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN from today till Tuesday and multiple other meetings on the sidelines. This will be the 47th summit of the ASEAN. Tariffs and access to rare earth minerals are high on the agenda of the 3-day gathering of Southeast Asian nations, which is occurring against the backdrop of the US-China trade war and strategic rivalry. Hours after arriving at the event, US President Donald Trump presided over the signing of a peace deal between Thailand and Cambodia. Thai Prime Minister and Cambodian Prime Minister signed the expanded ceasefire agreement described as a pathway to peace. The deal, reached after days of high-level negotiations, marks a significant step toward restoring stability between the two neighboring nations. Meanwhile, East Timor has joined the ASEAN as the bloc's 11th member state. The flag of East Timor, which is also known as Timor-Leste, was added to ASEAN's other 10 today at a formal ceremony at the bloc's annual summit in Kuala Lumpur. ASEAN is made out of 10 members: Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. Together they have a population of 678 million people and a gross domestic product of $3.9 trillion US, according to the Office of the United States Trade Representative.
2 suspects have been arrested over the theft of precious crown jewels from Paris's Louvre Museum, French media say.
Suspects in the brazen daylight heist of some of France's crown jewels from the Louvre were arrested in Paris yesterday. The Paris prosecutor's office said one of the men had been taken into custody as he was preparing to take a flight from Charles de Gaulle Airport. Items worth 88 million euros were taken from the world's most visited museum a week ago, when 4 thieves wielding power tools broke into the building in broad daylight. France's Justice Minister had since considered security protocols failed, leaving the country with a terrible image. The Paris prosecutor's office said in a statement that the arrest had been made last evening without specifying how many people had been taken into custody. Specialist police can question them for up to 96 hours. It is criticized that the premature disclosure of information related to the case, adding that it hindered efforts to recover the jewels and find the thieves. The gang reportedly arrived at 9:30 a.m. shortly after the museum opened to visitors. The suspects arrived with a vehicle-mounted mechanical lift to gain access to the gallery of Apollo, via a balcony close to the river scene. Pictures from the scene showed the ladder leading up to a first-floor window. Two of the thieves entered by cutting through the window with power tools. They then threatened the guards, who evacuated the premises and cut through the glass of two display cases containing jewels. A preliminary report has revealed that 1 in 3 rooms in the area of the museum raided had no CCTV cameras, according to French media. French police say the thieves were inside for 4 minutes and made their escape on 2 scooters waiting outside at 9:38 a.m. Security measures have since been tightened around France's cultural institutions. The Louvre has transformed some of its most precious jewels to the Bank of France after the daylight heist. On Friday, a secret police escort oversaw the transfer of some of the remaining jewels to the bank, 500 from the museum. They will now be stored in the bank's most secure vault, 26 meters below the ground floor of its elegant headquarters in central Paris. The vault is home to 90% of France's gold reserves, as well as the notebooks of Leonardo da Vinci and other national treasures. Its contents are worth an estimated 600 million euros.
Moving on to sports news now. England won the 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup match against New Zealand by 8 wickets.
The 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup match between England and New Zealand saw England clinch victory by 8 wickets with impressive precision. In the game held at Visakhapatnam, India, New Zealand won the toss and chose to bat first. They posted a competitive total of 168 runs, all out in 38.2 overs. Lindsay Smith stood out with 3 crucial wickets. Chasing a target of 169, England's response was anchored by Tammy Beaumont's 40 runs and Heather Knight's solid contribution of 33 runs. The standout innings came from Amy Jones, who played a classy unbeaten knock of 86 runs, featuring 11 fours and 6 sixes. England reached the target in 29.2 overs, losing just 2 wickets to seal a well-earned victory. This match marked the final one-day international for New Zealand captain Sophie Devine.
A leader for this New Zealand side, a leader in women's cricket. He's one of the most respected players going around, and appreciation for someone who will be going down as legendary forward. No doubt she'll continue to be a great servant for New Zealand cricket.
All matches of the 2025 ICC Women's Cricket World Cup are broadcast live on TV1 and streamed online on www.sirisatv.lk, the official local broadcasting rights holder of the tournament.
A felicitation ceremony to honour former Sri Lankan cricket captain Angelo Matthews was held in Colombo.
A felicitation ceremony honouring former Sri Lankan cricket captain Angelo Matthews was held in Colombo today. The event was organised by the Colts Cricket Club, where he has played cricket since his childhood. The event was attended by several former Sri Lankan captains and veteran cricketers, including Arjuna Ranatunga, Arvinda De Silva, Shaminda Vaz and Mahela Jayawardena, along with a number of current national players. Over the course of his illustrious career, Matthews has represented Sri Lanka in 226 one-day internationals, 119 test matches and 90 T20 internationals. In domestic cricket, he has amassed 12,922 runs in 181 first-class matches. During the ceremony, the Colts Cricket Club also recognized several outstanding players currently representing the club.
It is a deeply humbling moment for me to stand here today, being felicitated by the Colts Cricket Club, which is my second home. Fills me with immense pride and emotion. Standing here today, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude because cricket has given me everything. Joy, lessons, friendships and memories that will last a lifetime. Also, I urge all young cricketers here today to always stay humble, be loyal, and to take Colts Cricket Club to greater heights, just like our past cricketers have done.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.